Okay guys, this is about a week on now. You see got a little bit of hair mould. Plant's not really doing much good. This isn't doing that. It looks like BBA actually, but I can deal with BBA, that's not a problem. Now look at that. That came across in the plant and it is huge. Not sure how that ended up in there, but it's a very big shrimp. Okay, and as you can see, everything's working hunky-dory. Haven't done a water change on this, and I want to see how things progress. So I'm going to make sure we do an update on this weekly. There's a little bit of surface agitation, which has dropped slightly, so I'm kind of thinking that that's picked up a lot of the particulates that was in the water, so that's doing good. But yeah, the shrimp is huge. It's nearly it's nearly 2.5 inches, which is quite a lot. So I'm just going to set up the tripod and we're going to do a little update on the other tanks as well. And also I'm using a filter which is rather cool, which I'm going to do a little review on, because I think everyone who has high nitrates out the tap should have one. So give me a minute and I'll be back. Well, the hybrids are doing well guys, as you can see. We have a multitude of babies in there. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit. There you go. And they're doing really well. As you can see, you will get a change. You'll get hybrids and you'll get normal guppies, but in between you'll get hybrids. Now I can tell you now that some of the fish that are in there are doing really well. I will be removing some of these when they start to grow up, because I want to see what's going on. Actually, let me turn the pump off. Let's do that a minute. And as you can see, we've got a couple of different colours coming on. One of them I believe is going to be a chromium. Some of the babies are of clear descent. I mean, these are tiny little babies. We've had quite a few of these, and there's a fish there that's in distress, so I'm going to deal with that in a minute. I will be checking on. We have now 3 different sets of babies, which is quite cool. Let me deal with this fish first, bear with me. Okay, so I've always had trouble for the water coming out of the tap. There's always been around the 50 parts per million, which is obviously way higher. I mean, when I tested the water, I always test the water just before I do a water change, and I tested this water and it was a 40, so I'm actually putting nitrates in the water. So I thought, well, let's have a look, and I contacted a company called, let's have a look, let me see, make sure I spell this right, it's Pozzani, Pozzani, and decided that I was going to test out their stuff. Now, I'm always very dubious about buying stuff and filters and all that, and I know by passing through carbon you can do basically the same job, so I thought I'd try something out. And I was really happy with the results. I was putting in to the filter between 50 and 52 parts per million of nitrate, and I was getting between 0 and 1 coming out, which is an incredible saving over that. So as you can see, I'm pretty sure this is why my fish are now spawning. These guys would only spawn 1 or 2 at a time, and now they're spawning, as you can see, there's babies everywhere. So I'm kind of glad that I found this, and I'm going to show you a little review of the kit in a second, but I wanted you to see just how happy these fish are. The colours now are coming out on the fish. The hybrids are doing extremely well because of this. You know, there's the only reason I can think of. The only thing that's changed in my keeping habits are running my water through this. Now, it has actually changed the way I do water changes. It means I have to pour the tap through the tap, and I put it on a hose and basically when I put it on a hose, obviously it's cold water, so I need to warm the water, where before I would do it straight out and treat it. You still have to use your water treatments as you would normal to dechlorinate, or chloramine and chlorine, and it doesn't really drop your TDS. I mean, it has dropped my TDS. The only thing I have noticed is basically a drop in pH as well, but I kind of assume that's a norm really with these sort of types of filters. So I'm going to show you now on the video, so bear with me and I shall swap over to my normal camera. Thank you. Here's Roma, doing really well with these guys. So we've got a breeding pair out of these, so I moved them onto another tank to probably look after it. The guy that I sort of like mix and match with knows everything about them. These are really cool fish, look at that. I picked these up. There you go, let's see them on the rock. Doing really well. The rummy nose are doing great. There are some ottos in here somewhere, and also some dwarf guys, some some pygmy, I think they're called pygmy corridors. Oh, look at that, look at him. Very shy fish, that one, but they come out more and more now. Just wanted to give you an update. We are changing this tank out. It's going to take a while, but we are changing it into a dwarf cichlid or cichlid tank. I've got a community tank. I've also got to do this. Oh yeah, we have this tank, which I'll be dealing with soon, which is really cool. There you go, look at the colours on that. That is an awesome looking fish. So what I want you to talk about today is filtration. We've had a couple of issues with people saying that this fish, this, blah, blah. Listen, to be honest with you, it's all about balance, yeah? If you have a really, really big filter and you're really filtering, I don't know, 50 gallons an hour, right, just for argument's sake, yeah? Then yes, you can keep big fish, you know what I mean, providing the environment's correct, e.g., you know, you've got a big tank. Now, you can't really over-filter a tank, okay? Having said that, flow contacts and stuff like that, which I'm not going to go into, but I will do a video later on flow contact and media absorption and how the microbiotes actually deal with the stuff. I mean, if you can imagine, it'll be like a sushi restaurant, you know, when you have the plates going round and round and round, right? And you take your plate off. If you couldn't and you had to eat it while it was still on there, you obviously want it to go really slow and be, you know, so you can eat your food. Same as bacteria. You know, if you've got it rushing through like that, they don't get a chance to actually eat the stuff. So that's one thing you need to look at. Okay, now, obviously some of the fish I've got in here do not poop. I mean, I don't see any poop on the, you know, they're just very clean fish. Having said that, if I had goldfish in here, now goldfish, they poop like hell. Now there is some algae build-up on here, which I haven't dealt with yet. And there's a reason behind that, because I was breeding some snails and I wanted the snails to have that, obviously. And also, it's best to leave a little bit on there for these guys. You know, they like to, I don't know if you can see him under that leaf there. There you go. He loves a little bit of food. Oh, hello, pop your head up. He loves a little bit of food on a glass, and nice to get some good shots of him as well. So there's your update today for this one. Now, I will say one thing. When you look at fish, make sure you're getting ones not only that are good for your tank, but are, you know, smart sourced, as I call it, you know, tank bred and all that, or whatever, and make sure they will fit in with your tank. You know, I'm not going to put in something that's going to just munch away on my fish in here, so, you know, be careful. And that's really weird. Look at that. Look, these are the Endler males that I removed with the platies. See the platies, the sunburst platies? I believe that they're interbred as well, so that's kind of cool as well. So, alright, well, I'm going to do another update shortly, and I will be getting this tank going. I'm just waiting for, obviously, things to change. So you guys, you take care now, and we'll speak very soon.